just proud of our team, proud of Dave. Great game for him. We all know we talked about it. He's had his struggles this season, but his attitude has been unbelievable. He stayed stayed positive. Has been a great leader, and he was rewarded today, and was ready to step up and big time for our team. So just proud of him and proud of our team as we continue to get better. Our biggest goal is to just be the best team that we can be by the end of the year, and I think we're working in that direction.
Questions for Dave? We'll start with DeMichael Cole.
Dave, I think it was a similar thing earlier this year with one of your teammates. We talked to, I believe, a couple weeks ago, Jared Kimbrough. You started the first 14 games of the year, and all of a sudden, last 4 games you haven't started, you haven't played over 20 minutes in a game, and then you have this performance. Just what was that like for you to have that type of performance for your team after struggling more than you were used to in the past few weeks?
Honestly, it was super fun because our energy from our bench was just fantastic. Like, you felt the energy the entire game. So it didn't give me anything else to think about but winning a game. So it was just cool to go out there, have fun. And then my teammates found me in the right positions to score. So I'm grateful for them.
And as a player on this team, I know, coaches always preach to, believe, but what's it like with you guys, when you're together? What's the energy like? What's the belief like? Because, you've now beaten, the top 3 preseason A-10 teams. What's that energy like with you guys?
What me and Coach try to tell the team all the time is that to believe in ourselves, because the talent is there. We just need to work hard every day, come get better in practice, and Coach said that everything gonna work out for us. As long as we're the best team that we can be at the end of March, then we'll be fine.
Thank you, Dave.
Any other questions for Dave?
Hey, Dave, what's going on?
What's up, bro?
How you doing? So, last few games for you have been a little bit of a struggle. Tonight, obviously, career high 22. You were shooting the lights out from beyond the arc. What was working for you there?
Honestly, my teammates was fond of me. Staying ready. I work out every day, go to the gym every night. So it's just being confident in yourself and being confident in your teammates and having confidence in your coach. Everything gonna work out.
And you brought up the bench, and that's something I've noticed watching this team this year. Without the fans in the stands, you guys kind of have to bring your own energy. Is that something you guys talked about heading into the year?
The coaches bring big pints of Hawaiian punch before the game just so we could, we call it juice. We keep our juice at a level 5, so we preach that every game is good for us.
All right, Dave, take care.
My God.
Anything else for Dave? All right, thanks, Dave.
All right, Austin.
Good job, baby.
Coach. Questions for Coach?
Ashley, as you were coming down the stretch, the team made like 10 free throws in a row and something like 12 out of 14 coming down. How important is that for the team to win in that matter, how to close those games out that way?
Well, they were stretching the game out, so they started fouling with like 3 minutes left. So I'm looking at the clock and I'm saying, man, we're going to have to make free throws. So, we did a good job of taking care of the basketball, getting the ball in bounds versus their pressure. And Sharif was 13 for 15 from the line. He was awesome late in the game, and you got to win. You got to make free throws in order to win close games.
How much of a sign of growth is that too, that you can win in that manner?
For us, it's all about just fighting and staying in the game and giving ourselves a chance to be in the game in the second half. And I felt like we did that today. And then, we got a great effort out of Jack Clark on the defensive end, man. He was phenomenal. And, we got the necessary stops that we needed. We made the free throws late when we needed. And those are the things that you have to do, against the best teams in the most difficult situations to close out wins.
Thank you, Ashley.
Thanks, Glenn.
Coach, we talked a lot, about the first two times when you had these, big upset wins about the youth and how, you can have really good nights. But tonight it just I feel like this one felt a little different because, when they took that lead in midway through the second half, Dave B went on that stretch and it felt like, more of a we've been here before, attitude from the team. Is that what you sensed when you guys, went into that under 12 timeout?
I sense that our guys knew that we were going to have to make some plays to beat these guys. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
And I felt like, I've been saying it, like Dave has been awesome. Like he's been, he's a hard worker, man. He's a gym rat. He lives in Angola. And I knew the basketball guys would reward him at some point, right? And he made a couple big shots in the first half. He had it going. And then in the moment, we got him some looks in the second half and he came up huge. And I think that gave our team energy and belief that, we can win this game. And then the defense went up another level and then, it all came together for us, man. So it was just a great team win. I'm glad that our guys, had that fight in them. And now that we've won a couple, I think our guys are starting to believe that they can beat anybody at any given night.
As a coach, I feel like, these type games have some really good teaching moments, but specifically for players, how big is it for you now that, you've had players like Jared Kimbrough and now Dave Beatty, who both have, exited the starting lineups at times, had their struggles and come back and had really big performances and key wins for you. How much of a teaching thing can that be for a coach?
I mean, it's a life lesson. You know what I'm saying? It's, in life, it's going to be a bumpy road, but you got to stay the course, right? And I think that's been the message with those guys, like stay positive, don't get discouraged. Your opportunity is going to come, right? And when you're in the moment, you gotta be here now in the moment and take advantage of your opportunities. And I think both of those guys did a great job of, preparing themselves and not getting discouraged and down on themselves to have the big games that they've had. And I'm proud of them both. And I think it shows that this team has a lot of character and we can continue to get better.
One more, if I could ask you one more, Coach, regarding, we talk about this a lot too. Any given night, it can be any of the guys. And I know last game you said, you kind of got a clue with, about three guys who will be the main guys, factoring into the scoring. But tonight, Dave, awakens and you have a couple other big forms. I know Clifton Moore makes some big shots down the stretch too. What does that say about this team? I mean, how are they able to consistently have, someone who, like Dave, who hadn't scored more than 6 points in 6 straight games, just blow up tonight for a big performance?
I think that's what makes our team dangerous. I think that, and I've been saying it, like we haven't played our best basketball yet. We still have not. So, we still have a lot of room for growth. We still have, some more games where we can, continue to play and challenge ourselves to keep getting better. And, hopefully a game like today gives Dave a shot in the arm that he needed to finish this season out strong and make a push late. Hopefully, the games that Jared had will continue to keep him in a good place playing well. And who knows how good this team can be. I don't think anybody does, but I know we're going to keep fighting and keep trying to figure it out, by the end.
Appreciate you, Coach.
Thanks, buddy.
Hey, Ash, St. Louis on the offensive end, they can kind of beat you from the three. They can drive it to the hoop. They're good down under. What was the defensive game plan for them tonight?
Well, they have 3 of the best players in our conference. So, the game plan was really to try to limit Hassan French's touches. Hassan French was in foul trouble all game. So I think that plays a major part in the outcome of the game. You know, the fact that he got 2 in the first half and then he got one very first possession in the second half, he fouls out of the game. That helps us, you know what I mean? Obviously. But, you know, again, like Jordan Goodwin, unbelievable rebounder. He only had 1 offensive rebound in the game. You know, we didn't do as good a job on Jemerson as I would have liked. Lights out shooter. And then Javonte Perkins has emerged as one of the best wings in our league. I thought Jack Clark did a unbelievable job on him today in the game. And I felt like that was the game. You know, I thought if I had to pick a player of the game today, it's Jack Clark, bar none, because he's taken that next step, defending, rebounding. You know, he plays 37 minutes and 9 rebounds, 15 points, 9 rebounds. Like he's taken huge steps in the right direction, and he answered the challenge of playing against Javonte Perkins today.
And I got to ask you, because Dave brought up about the punch, you know, because watching games from home, you know, it's different than being there, and there's no fans, and all I can see is just the bench going up and standing up and going crazy. I mean, whose idea was that? And like, how important is bringing that own energy in an empty arena for you guys?
So we work with a sports psychologist named Dr. Joe Carr, and his thing is like, yo, what's our juice like? You know what I mean? And we went through a stretch. We went through that stretch where we weren't playing. It's like, yo, there's no juice. There's no juice. So, you know, guys make mistakes. They're coming to a bench where there's no juice. When there's juice, then nobody can think of the mistakes that they're making. Nobody can think about what's going wrong. All they can do is focus on like giving energy, bringing juice. And so like, we took it to another level down at Richmond, man. I told the assistant coaches like, look, man, I don't care how out of control the bench looks, man. I just want these guys to be fired up. And we did it down there, and then we came back the next game, Rhode Island, and they got the punch in the Hawaiian punch container, and they're shaking it, and it's cool, man. Like the most important thing is, and I think this has not been talked about enough, is like our team, we've been in the grind, man. Like we haven't had any COVID pauses, knock on wood.
Yeah, knock on wood.
This has to be a fun experience. I don't want this to be for our guys like, yo, we're just going here, playing this game, playing that game. You know what I mean? Just parading these guys around. I want these guys to enjoy it. So the fact that they're enjoying it and we're getting better, that's like everything for me. So I'm proud of them. I'm proud of our staff. And Doc Carr, he's the one that came up with the juice. But I think Darius Ward, our Darius Ward, Kyle Thompson, and Andrew LaFawn, I think those dudes came up with the idea to like bring the punch and do all those things, man, during the game. So it's working. We got to keep our juice high.
All right. Thanks, Ash. Take care.
Awesome, man.
Thanks, everyone.
Have a good night, guys.
Hey, Coach, got a quick one for you.
No, I think – what do you got?
What you got, Dave?
Hey, Coach, after a big win like this, how do you keep your team from having a letdown in your next win?
You just come back to practice to keep getting better. And, we spoke a little bit about the Fordham game. Fordham is a tough team. They play so hard. They're always one of the best defensive teams in our league. I thought we had a night versus them about a month ago where we really, shot the ball extremely well. We know that Saturday is not going to be the same, and we got to be prepared to go up there and be in a dogfight versus Fordham.
And also, how's it feel so far to be able to play every game on your schedule so far this season?
It's been awesome. It's given us the ability to keep getting better and to keep developing as a team and as a program. So I'm proud of our guys. They've done a phenomenal job of following protocols, obviously. And, hopefully we can keep this thing going so we can keep getting better.